If you want to start it now, that's okay. Okay. All right, we are here a little bit early today. Okay. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the U.S. Jobs Report, Canada Jobs. No gold open this morning. Oil open. My name is Lee Goldstein, Trading Director, 10-minute trades. Please remember all the trades we discussed for educational purposes. It's possible to lose money trading futures. Trade carefully, please. Chantal, what about oil? What about oil? Do you remember the oil trade? Okay. So we have a lot of things to check. A lot of things to check today. No drama, no worrying, just information. That's the goal today. Okay. No drama, no worrying, but important information that everybody has to be aware of. Okay. The jobs report is a very volatile market event, and there are some things that have taken place with brokers in the markets that we need to be mindful of. So those are the things we're going to talk about today. Now, we have been seeing that the markets are super volatile. We've been increasing our stops and bracket sizes for the DMMs, and that should be done if you're going to trade gold today. Now, gold did work last month on the jobs report, but it didn't work for everyone, and gold can be an instrument that might not fill, or it might have tremendous whipsaws. So there's lots of challenges in trading gold. There's no doubt in my mind that if you trade gold, you should double the bracket and double the stop today. 40 bracket. And let me look at the DMM real quickly. $40 bracket, 40 stop. Now, last month gold worked. In August, it did not work properly. I'm telling you that right now. It did not work properly. Okay, it didn't. People did not get filled. It whipsawed. It did not work properly. Keep that in mind. And then if you look at July, June, April, gold has not been trading the way we want it to on this report. It's a high risk instrument. The NQ, I probably would not trade it today. I did not get filled last month. If you decide you want to trade it, bracket should be 50, 50, 50, 50. Okay, 50. The most traditional trade today is the ES, the range trade. It tests nicely. If you get a good fill, it could have liquidity issues even 5 seconds after the trade. But if you want the most traditional approach today, the ES range trade is probably the most traditional approach. Now, for Ninja Trader customers, they have been talking about starting a new policy today where they are increasing the margins. That instead of day trade margin, all of the instruments are going to be traditional, not intraday. Let me show you. Let me show you. Beginning Friday, October 7th, day trading margins will be increased to initial exchange margin prior to the release of key economic news. We can assume that this report is key economic news. It is key economic news. Okay? It's key economic news. I have a very outside the box trade today that we've been testing that trades really well. That's not listed anywhere. It's an oil trade. And I'll talk about that in a minute. So a couple of quick things. First, I'm going to just go to Ninja Trader's margin page just to see if there's anything doing at the moment. So right now, margins are normal, okay? Right now, margins appear to be normal, okay? We have to check Okay, we have to check 15 minutes before the event. 15 minutes before the event, 10 minutes before the event, we have to keep checking margins. They don't have a list, Darren, of reports. It's random and arbitrary. So the first trade I'm going to set up, and a couple of things just so everyone's aware. I do have the news set up on the side. Now, just to complicate things also, you can trade Canada today. The Canada jobs report trades very well when it trades with the US jobs report. But understand that today it's an anomaly these days because the markets are so different because of the volatility that we're seeing. So if you want to trade Canada, here's the setup I would use today. A bracket of 20 and a stop of 28. An entry time of 8:30 and a target I would use targets of 6 and 20. 6 and 20. Bracket of 20, targets of 6 and 20, entry time of 8:30. Entry time of 8:30. Bracket of 20 and a stop of 28. Now, if you want the most traditional trade, the ES range trade would be the most traditional trade available, okay? So let's set that up. And today is the day because I don't know what's going to happen with margins. I'm going to set up I'm just thinking if I want to set up, if I'm going to assume that they're going to raise the margins. Francis, I'm not sure. Could you be more clear on what you're saying, please? Because that's not that's not even anything related to what they've been saying. So tell me where you're getting that information, and it's not clear what you're saying. 4 times intraday. 4 times intraday. Hang on, folks. And this is one of the things that we're struggling with. So it's almost impossible because they have so many different margin sheets. So now they're saying something completely different. Intraday margins will be set to 4 times the standard rates. So bear with me. See, intraday margins are their day trade margins. So if they're going to raise the ES to 4 times intraday, that would still be tradable, because in theory that would be $2,000 per contract. It's completely different from what they told me by email. So unfortunately, I mean, we're in a situation with these margins requirements that is very unclear and confused, because they're not being clear. Where are you seeing a list, Chantal? Where are you seeing a list? I don't see a list. Send me the link, please, of what they're considering a calendar. So if this data is correct, please correct me, then the ES margin is 2,000. 2,000. And yet, when you go to the order desk update, margins are normal. Okay. So at this point, what's possible is I could try to enter a trade and not get in because of margin. Any one of us could try to enter a trade today and not get in because of margin, not having enough margin in the account. So there's, at this point, because it's unfortunately extremely confused, I'm going to set up a single contract trade on the ES, the range trade. Let me load my template. Let me get my setup. So our range trade on the ES, the range start time is 8:29:55. 5 ticks above the range, 5 ticks below the range. Show the range graphics on chart. The range ends at 8:30.05, and I'm just looking for one position. I've got a 20 tick stop, and I'm looking for a 20 tick target. A 20 tick target. The range ends at 8:30.05. The range starts at 8:29.55. 5 ticks above the range, 5 ticks below the range. One target for 20 ticks. That's my ES range trade. Now I need to label the trade and put my charts on. Now, the second trade, the interesting off-the-wall trade, their events are clear. What they're considering the events now. So here's the thing. If you want to trade gold, keep in mind it could be very tight liquidity. Very tight liquidity. If you trade gold, I would use a very big bracket of 40. I would use a stop of 40. That's $400, assuming everything works perfectly. The ES stop is 20, Caesar. Gold, 40 bracket, 40 stop. Keep in mind how troubled gold has been. It's a high risk event on gold. Okay, because 8.5 was not a winner. It was a liquidity problem. Last month was a winner. Targets of 15 and 30, possibly if you just trade one contract, I'd go for a 30 tick target. Entry time is 8:29.59. So I would double the bracket, double the stop on gold. That's what I would recommend on gold. I do not recommend trading the NQ because it's almost a guarantee the NQ is going to have liquidity issues. Okay, it's almost guaranteed. So this whole margin position management, this is completely different than what they told me. Intraday margin rates are effective from the product open until 15 minutes prior to the session close. Intraday margin rates. Okay, wait a minute. Francis, this is normal. Intraday margin rates. Intraday margin rates is 15 minutes prior to the session close. Francis, what you're looking at is their previous normal margin. Here's the issue. Under that, margin changes for economic news, intraday margins will be 4 times the standard rates, 15 minutes. So it's under there. As listed on our trade desk calendar, fine. Okay, so this is completely different. This is a completely different policy than what they've been saying all week in email, all week. 4 times intraday margins are going to be 4 times higher. 4 times higher. 4 times higher. So if you look at the ES, intraday is 500, so that's 2,000 per contract. NQ is 4,000 per contract. GC, gold, 8,000 per contract, 4 times 2,000, 8,000 per contract. Eric, you might have a margin issue with gold. It may not let you into the trade. because they're saying it's 4 times the margin. Okay. If they're saying it's 4 times the margin, who knows if they're even going to be able to have I don't know if their software set up to do this yet. Who knows? We don't know how it's going to play out. So I would recommend trading one contract today, and just trading carefully. Let me go over our oil setup, which I'm going to test on micro oil. Well, that does seem to be what the rules are. That does seem to be what the rules are. MCL 1122, we have a very interesting breakout trade that's been working incredibly well on oil on the US jobs report. I'm going to test it on MCL because of margin questions, and it's new, it's outside the box. Entry time 8:29.58, and I'm using a bracket of 7, and I've got 2 targets. My first target is 15 ticks. My first target is 15 ticks. Eric, if that was you, do that again. First target of 15, second target of 35, the stop 20, the stop is 20, oil, stop of 20, target of 35 on the second target, the stop is 20. And if my first target is hit, I'm going to move my stop to break even. 8:29.58 entry, 1 target of 15, a second target of 35, a stop of 20. This is an outside the box oil trade, an outside the box oil trade. Oil has been working really, really well on the jobs report. Excuse me. We've been testing it, and it works really, really, really interestingly and well. The one thing I want to do real fast is just check my brackets on oil. Bear with me. Because my brackets are small. And then we'll go back and test margins. I think we have to assume the margins are going to be higher than we expect. So the oil is 8:29.58 entry, a 7 bracket, a target of 15, a target of 35, target 1 stop move break even, and my stop is 20 ticks. That is my oil trade. Okay. Our ES trade is a range trade. I'm just trading 1 contract. Chantal, MCL trades really closely to CL. It does trade almost exactly the same as our other range trade on Wednesday. So I think it's a good test. I think it's a good test. It should trade this time of day. It should be pretty close. ES ES is a range trade. ES is a range trade. The range starts 829.55. The range ends 830.05. I'm trading one position and a 20-tick target. One position and a 20-tick target. All right, so I'm going to err on the side of caution today and let my oil trade not be live. Chantal makes a great point. These are very tricky markets. I'll concentrate on our traditional ES trade on jobs, and I'll test the oil trade on MCL. Okay, I'll test it. You know what? I'll test it on CL. I'll test it on CL. It'll be a great test. So CL 1122. It'll be a good test. So the oil one more time, and then we'll check our margins. We'll check our time sync. 829.58 is the entry, a bracket of 7, one target of 15, a target of 35. Move your stop to break even. Move your stop to break even. Target one stop move. Stop loss is 20. That's the oil setup. The ES range. All right. Now it could be so fast. It could be so fast that we can't tell, you know, what's going on. It's possible. It could be so fast. Okay, they have raised their margins 4 times intraday. So what we said about margins is correct. The ES is 2,000. Okay, the ES is 2,000. So you can trade, you know, you could trade 2 contracts with the ES because the margin is 2,000. Okay, the margin is 2,000. So my second, I'm going to have a first target of 9 ticks and a second target of 19. And my stop is 20. Okay. And we should be fine with margin. We should be fine with margin. The ES range trade tests very well. It tests very well. 919 on targets. Right, 2,000 is double. Don't forget, with JOBB, you've got double. So the margin is 4,000 because you have an order above and an order below. Don't forget. Checking time sync. So Eric, in theory, you should be 2,000 times 4 margin, and you have maybe barely enough to be allowed to trade. So I want to thank everybody who's watching us on Trader J. Believe me, we understand. We understand. And what Trader Jay's saying is this is risky trading. Everybody knows that. Trading news is risky trading. I said the ES tests very well, not very low, Caesar, not very low. So the oil trade is a simulation, so I won't even look at it. The range trade, the orders will show up on the chart 5 seconds after the news. And don't forget Canada. If you're trading Canada, it's a bracket of 20. It's a bracket of 20. With a stop of 28, an entry time of 8:30. And I would use targets of 6 and 20. 6 and 20. I have my news off to the side. So you've got 2.5 minutes. So we've got 2 minutes to go. Oil has been somewhat a little bit moving before this news. Oil tends to move at 8:30 in general, we've seen. So once again, don't forget that they've increased the margins 4 times intraday. 4 times intraday. So intraday on the ES was 500. So it goes to 2,000, and then we have to double that. Orders above, orders below. So we have a minute and a half. Now the ES range trade has been working well. We've traded the ES range trade as an official trade. It's an official trade for this report, as is gold, as is gold. Gold definitely has more liquidity issues. All right, so there's 35 seconds. They're saying if the report has a lot of jobs, that's not good. They want to see less jobs for a cooling down of the economy, re-inflation. Okay, so there's our range. So price is frozen. So it didn't fill me. It did not fill me, so I'm canceling the range trade. Price froze, but look at gold. Look at gold. The gold trade was, the oil trade was beautiful. The oil trade hit the first target, I'm at break even and I've made 15 ticks. So I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything. I did not get filled on the ES. No surprise there. We've explained that this is a liquidity event. It's a liquidity event. All right. Oil hits the first target. Trade is off. Let's watch the market for a second. Putting the gold market on. Now, it's impossible to tell at this moment exactly what happened on gold. It may have shot down. So we'll hear from people. I'm sure there's some people that traded gold. And let's see. So let's go. Okay, so Eric made $110 on gold. I'd like to see that video. I'd love to see that video. I don't know how you'd made $110. I got to see that video. Let's get a roll call, please. A roll call, please, for what happened to everyone. Who trade? Let's start one at a time. Who traded Canada? Who traded Canada? Who traded Canada live? Who traded Canada live? Anyone? Joe, did you trade it live? Okay. So Canada traded Canada live. Doc traded micro gold and made $87. That's a fantastic trade on micros. It's absolutely fantastic. Here's the news. All right. There were more jobs created. That's bad for inflation. That's what everyone's been saying all week. Okay. The unemployment rate. Let me get rid of these boxes so we can see everything. And please continue to give me your roll call of what happened. So the important news. There were more jobs created. Not monster, though. Not a monster. Only 13,000. It's not that big a deal. So why the market's seeing it as so negative, I'm a little bit surprised. But the unemployment rate, way lower, 2.2. That's a big change when it's this low to begin with. So if this were the old days, this would be a fantastic report. But it's not the old days. They're dealing with inflationary news, okay? So the market might be considering the fact that there were more jobs, okay? More jobs. ES absolutely was a no fill. The ES, if you watched it, it did some very strange things. Price stopped. Price didn't move for a second or two. So I'm not surprised that the ES didn't fill. Canada. So one person traded Canada and made some money. Okay. That's interesting. So the Canada setup was a good setup. Increasing the bracket kept everyone safe, I assume, as well. Okay. I need to see, I'm going to look at Eric's.
Good morning, Lee. Good morning, everyone.
What's up?
Not much. While you're pulling up the video, I just want to say hello to everybody in the room. Mark, Eva, all of our regulars. I don't know everybody yet, but I'm going to. Joe, congrats on your $9 winner on Canada. And also for our folks on YouTube, thank you for joining us. I know it's kind of like we're talking our own lingo here, but this is you're getting to see how we run our trade room here. So definitely want to welcome you here. And today, Lee, if you don't mind, I'll just give some commentary too.
Yeah.
The gold trade that you're pulling up, definitely. I actually, just so you know, I follow Lee's counsel, right? I don't want to say advice. Remember, we're not financial advisors. Lee and I, we spoke earlier this morning, and his suggestion was to just increase brackets. And so you'll see in the video, it's a short video because I actually recorded like a second or two before the report. Why don't I actually pause for a second? Let you show the trade. But actually, before I do, I did tell everyone in the chat, guys, practice the skill set of doing a reversal. And guess what? That's exactly what I did on Sim, and I goofed. I actually, and it was a great reversal trade on gold. Instead of hitting the buy, I think I sold. But I want everyone, I want you to look at the gold chart afterwards, and that's something that I want to open everyone's minds to. Is that even with this margin thing that's going on here, we have so many different ways to attack the news. And the one that we've had for 10 years that just been low hanging fruit is practicing the reversal trade. So let you show the trade. And then I want you to bring up the gold trade and show everyone. I goofed. You could even see that I put a sim trade on the reversal and I executed the wrong way. But had I bought instead of selling, lots of money and a fortune. All right,
So
go ahead.
let me address that, Eric. So you could have, as you do this more and more, you can set up a second trade using the software to manage that reversal trade, so that it's much less probable that you'll screw up. So
Sounds good.
if people are going to do that reversal trade, they can use the software to set up a trade. It makes it much easier than just doing it randomly. So here's your trade. If you want to comment on it, this is
Sure.
30
Yeah, sure.
seconds before.
So basically, I had a 40 tick bracket, and I had a 40 tick profit target. It filled me on the south side going down. And just pause for a second. Back to what Lee said. Just I know all this inflation thing mixes things up a little bit, but back to the basics. When there's more jobs and there's less unemployment, that means in general, forget about this whole inflation thing. That's a positive sign for economy. So traditionally, gold, right, is inverse. So with that news, gold actually shot the way that we want it to go. It went down, right? Gold is inverse. So when the economy is doing really good, gold, again, we know that it could go up and down no matter what. But that's theoretically how it works, and that's exactly what I did. So go ahead.
All right, so this is 3 seconds before the event. There's your brackets.
Yeah, and I pulled up my profit target. I take a look where I got. I mean, I wish I wouldn't have switched the sim right away because I was getting ready for the reversal. But yeah, in short, I pulled my. Oh, you actually could still see. There's probably more money on the table, but I grabbed, right. That's part of how I made my back to my original story. This is the exact way that I took a 2K count, a 20K count, is doing this, not being greedy. I saw the green. I don't even care about anything else. I just grab it. And if you and that's what I did today. It's kind of the backbone of how I did this successfully as a member. I see the green, grab my profit target, pulled up. Yeah, there's a lot of critiquing. Eric say longer, this and that, but I played it safe, guys, and that's it. $100 on the board, nothing to brag about, but it's always nice to end the day with a green number.
Yeah, I'm trying to see it. It was so maybe the bracket. The bracket was really big today, and gold didn't need the bracket today. That's
Correct.
the irony.
Correct.
It didn't need a
Yeah.
big bracket today.
I should have just listened to
But
the DMM. Sorry.
well,
Sorry.
you never know that. You see, you never know that. If you look at
It's
the
okay.
last 5 months, though, you would have
Yeah.
not been able to trade it with a 20 tick bracket. So
That's
you're better
yeah. I
off
still
safe.
think
You're better off
yeah,
safe.
yeah. Absolutely. And so just want to make sure again for our folks on the live stream, right? One of what separates us, what makes us unique, right, is that, well, first of all, we actually show up and we actually are demonstrating. We use the same methodology that we tout. We actually use, right, and we demonstrate, and we have real money on the table. But one of the things that we really also do as part of our service is that we're on the front lines. And today, like behind the scenes, when you guys don't see me in the trade rooms, like I'm testing DMMs to the T, because I want to see the same DMM that we sent out to all of our members. If we had followed it, what would be the result? Today, though, listen, everything, Lee's in day out. So even though Jay is definitely our guru here, you know what I mean? Lee understands the markets. He's doing the trade rooms. He really sees things. So I'm totally okay with the guidance you gave us, especially because the last 5 reports were really like were not profitable, if I'm not mistaken, or like whipsaw. So it's all good. And maybe for next month, maybe I'll have a little bit more of an appetite to trade a more normal bracket distance. But the counsel that you gave me didn't it didn't and give me a losing number. You know what I mean? But yeah, maybe there could have been more profits. But lately, there was one other point about the reversal. Can you pull up the gold trade to show everyone how it reversed? Or
Yeah,
actually,
hold
it's
on
right
one
there.
sec.
It's right there on your screen.
Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on.
No problem.
Where the heck is it? I don't know where it is. Hold on.
It's in your screen right now on the right. GC.
Oh, what do you want
Unless
to
you're
see? What do
looking
you
at.
want to see? What do you want to see?
No,
This is
no.
the
I
gold
just want to.
chart.
Yeah, I just want to point out something. If you take a look at that red candle with the long wick going down to 1708, right? I believe
Right
that's
here.
the 830. That's the 830. So my point was, even though I only made 110 bucks, right? If you, the video leak could play it again, it was hovering in that between 1712, 1708. There was an opportunity, in my opinion, to practice the reversal. Believe me, I'm not an expert on that, but take a look at where it went. And Jay covers this in the DMM. Look how it's well above the S1 now. So my point is this, guys. My point is that even though I'm a big fan of the breakout trade, um, we need to practice these reversals. And Lee, let's do a class like you're saying about how our software can help us. And I showed you. You could see me. I'm gonna put a sim trade, and I goof. I instead of buying to reverse, I went the wrong way. So I haven't, I just I made a mistake, and so that's part of the reason why I want everyone to practice, make sure that we really know how to execute manually, or maybe with our software we don't even have to worry about it. But anyways, guys, I just want to thank everyone again. I know I was here last Friday, and I'm not going to steal the show, Lee. I'm going to go. I said last week that I was going to do a webinar, and I never followed through with that, but I will soon. I just had a couple things that come up this week. But congratulations to all of our winners, and for those of you who are not a member yet, that you're watching us on the live stream, I definitely would like to welcome you to Lee. How could they get access to the? How could they join us today if they wanted to
Okay,
join
folks,
us?
if you're on YouTube, I've typed in our website address, www.10minutetrades.com, and we appreciate, go to our website and sign up for the free video, how to find your own
Yeah.
10-minute trades.
I'll tell you what, anybody who's on the live stream right now, if you subscribe right now, I'll hook you up with the free week in the trade room just for being here today. Okay, so I think that's the so just sign up for a free training video, and I'll hook you up with the free week in the trade room. Okay, so just join us. We want to make sure you're getting all the great information that we're sharing. Guys, anyone in the trade room want to ask me or say anything before I pass it back to Lee? Because I'm here and I'm ready to engage.
It's
But
time
yeah,
to
that's my.
ask the boss. Ask the boss.
No, I'm definitely not the boss, guys. I remember I'm just like one of you guys. I literally was just like one of you guys. Like I lean towards Lee and Jay, that they're the trading gurus. In my mind, I'm just a member like everyone else. But my story here is I've been sharing this with a lot of folks, and I enjoy doing it because I like to see people, ordinary people, aspiring traders making money. I made 110 bucks in 3 seconds. There's nothing to complain about that. I'm gonna go on my day now, do the things that I enjoy to do. You know what I mean? That's the beautiful thing about appointment-based trading. We're here for an hour or two in the morning because Lead runs a really great trade room. But the fact, the reality is that I could have logged in 5 minutes before the trade, made my 100 bucks, and go on my day. And so that's the big picture, guys. This is a great skill set to earn some additional income. This isn't the end all be all, and that I'm actually giving a little bit of messaging to the webinar that I want to do with you guys, because um, this is just one piece of the way to have financial prosperity. This is just one tool that I use, right? um, I don't see any question, guys. I want to thank Chantal, right? Chantal is actually a big helper of us. She actually helps us with do a lot of testing behind the scenes. She's everyone knows in the trade room that she's always giving us um, a heads up, an alert when the trade rooms are open, and she actually helps us do the live stream. So thank you very much, Chantal. Guys, have a great weekend. You're in good hands with Lee, and I just want to thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here, and I want to really let you know that No matter what's being thrown at us, whatever curveballs, the margin, don't worry about it. We are definitely going to make sure that we have a plan and to move forward that we're going to still be able to deploy appointment-based trading. So I don't want everyone to worry. We're already talking to Ninja Trader. We're already thinking about strategies, maybe different brokers. So we definitely got your back. All right, guys, have a great day. And Lee, I'm going to pass it back to you.
Okay, thanks, Eric. See you later. All right, folks. So we want to get ready for the oil open, but let's look at the video real quick. I want you to see something. The ES told us that it probably wasn't going to fill because price actually stopped. It stopped moving on the ES, and it probably would have been a good time to cancel the trade. So let's just look at the video that what happened to us, and don't forget that oil trade, very interesting. It's 4 months in a row that oil has tested profitable on the U.S. jobs report. 4 months in a row. So that's a very interesting outside the box trade. Gold, ironically, did not need the big bracket today. We didn't even look at NQ yet. Here's the ES. Just watch what happened. It was extremely strange behavior on the index. The news comes out and there's a pretty big move right there. And it stops. If you notice, price had just completely stopped. And then it goes the other way. We should have canceled the trade when price stopped. If that ever happens again, you have to just cancel. And you could see, you know, that's a liquidity event. When it does what it did, it just shot through our orders. I mean, in theory, we should have had a beautiful, profitable trade right there, but it didn't fill us. So we had a perfect setup, but the setup, because the price action was so challenged, did not work. Now, if you're interested, you know, trading anything now, okay? For instance, trading the oil open, this is not normal trading now because of the importance of the report. Hey, Chantal, we got to close YouTube. So I want to thank everybody on YouTube for joining us. We have to close down the stream. And don't forget to go to www.10minutetrades.com and sign up for the free video, how to find your own trades. Thanks.